Assalamu Alaikum. Hello everyone, I am Husna and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Finally, I am filming the long-awaited and most requested video, how to study in London, in the UK, or just generally how to study abroad. So if you're new, last year in September, I moved to London to study university there. I study in the University of Westminster and I am majoring in digital media production. I'm officially done with my first year. I only have 2 more years left until graduation, inshallah. And since I am in my summer holiday right now, I'm back home in Istanbul. And I thought right now is the perfect time to actually explain you guys how you can study abroad as well. Especially when I started sharing with you guys my study abroad journey, I started receiving a lot of questions about Husna. How did you do it? How was the IELTS process? How was the visa application? How did you apply for universities? Basically all the details about how to study abroad. And I promised you guys that I would film a whole video explaining it. In fact, I won't only be explaining how to study abroad, but I will also be explaining what to do after you actually move abroad to study, like how to spend your first year in university, or like how my experience in first year of university was. Like, I just want to share with you guys everything. So yeah, I hope this video will be beneficial and I hope this video will be helpful for you if you're planning to study abroad as well, especially in the UK. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I want to start with how long it took me to actually move to London in September, right? I moved to London in September 2024, but the process of me preparing to study abroad started from April 2023. So it's like almost 1.5 years. So it exactly took me 1.5 years to prepare to study abroad in London, and then finally in September of 2024 I moved to London and I was only 19 years old. Oh, and also I want to note that when you look at my social media, especially like on my Instagram, it might look like I always had this lifestyle that supported me with moving abroad, like studying there both financially and physically and mentally and blah blah blah, but that's not the reality, you guys. I mean, I try my best to not make my social media look perfect. Actually, I try my best to not make my life look like perfect on social media, but at the end of the day, it is social media. When we post, we filter our content, we edit them, we usually try to film our best moments and then we post them. But generally, you guys, I'm speaking honest, like 100%. I never thought ever thought that I would actually move on a whole new country, like on a whole different country on my own without my family, as a girl, especially as a Muslim girl, Muslim hijabi girl at the age of 19 to study university. Let alone moving abroad to study university, just generally studying university was not even in my plans at all, you guys, because I did not grow up in that kind of family. I did not grow up in that kind of household. I am the first girl to study university in my family, which alhamdulillah is a blessing, but just in my household it was not a thing, So that's why I just want to clarify that, because maybe when you're watching this video you might be like, oh, let me just check out her Instagram, or let me just check out her YouTube, and you're gonna go oh, she looks wealthy, or I don't know, she looks like she has super supportive background, or she has grown up in that kind of household, so it's normal for her to study abroad, so I can't, and blah blah blah. I don't want you to think like that, okay? I try my best to be raw, but I feel like my YouTube is better than Instagram in terms of relatable content. In my YouTube, when you watch my YouTube vlogs, that's where you can truly see who I really am, the way I talk and the people I hang out with, my choices and my opinions on certain topics. YouTube is my safe space and I love my YouTube family. But on Instagram, I feel like everyone's like that on Instagram. You look more aesthetically pleasing, you look more put together, you make your content look more cinematical and stuff. But yeah, I just want to clarify that if I did it, I am sure that you can do it as well, you guys. Let me tell you, the biggest miracle I've experienced in my own life was actually moving to London and studying university there. So yeah, now that I clarified that, I can officially start. So on April of 2023, you guys, I got inspired to study abroad out of nowhere. Literally, it was in the middle of the night. I was with my family, and the reason why we're all together in the middle of the night was because it was the month of Ramadan where we fast, and usually we wake up in the middle of the night to eat some stuff before our fast officially begins. So we're just eating some stuff in the middle of the night with my family, and that's when I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to study in London. And no one took me serious. I'm gonna be for real with you guys. No one took me serious except for my older sister. Like, until I entered IELTS and I passed my IELTS score, no one took me serious. Everyone was like, okay, yeah, like, Husna was always the Lulu. You know, it is true. I was always the Lulu in my family. Like me, you know, posting on social media, like creating content and like just trying to do some different stuff. Like, this is who I am. So everyone always knew that I was the Lulu, and I used to always like speak big. I dream big. I dream different in my family. So everyone was like, okay, yeah, like she's just, you know, this is another Delulu, like delusion of Husna. But they were not saying this like in a negative way. They were just like in a joke type of way, and I was fine with that because I'm so used to that, you know, not in a negative way, you guys. Like, this happens in every family, I'm sure, you know. So yeah, my mom and dad was like, okay, yeah, do your best, we're with you, but you know, like, this is like a big thing. But now that I look back, I know why they didn't take me seriously, because guys, financially and emotionally and even like physically, I was so not ready for this big journey, because it's not an easy journey, okay, you guys? Like, it is not an easy journey, let me be honest. So that's why now I understand why back then my parents kind of like didn't take this serious, you know, and they just thought it was another delusion of mine, because I truly was not ready for this financially, especially, you guys, like, especially financially, like, I was not ready for this. But when you truly believe in God, He makes it happen. Like, I believe in this more than ever because I moved to London. Anyways, okay, so it was April. I'm like, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna study in London. And the reason why I chose the UK is because it was the closest to Istanbul, and it's an English-speaking country. And we all know that UK is best known for its universities, and, you know, like, international students mostly prefer UK to live and to study in, because it's like a really good country. So yeah, I just went with UK, and I did some researches about universities that can actually accept me, because most universities require GCSE or like IB, like those kind of international exams, and I don't have that. I just had my high school diploma, and that's it. But you guys, okay, so this is the first tip. Take your paper and your pencil if you are planning to study abroad. This is the first note that you have to write down. Universities, like, when you look at their entry requirements, they might be like, okay, you need IB or like you need GCSE, but that it's not like mandatory, unless if it's like Oxford or Cambridge or I don't know, like Ivy Leagues in the USA, okay? Unless if it's not those kind of universities. Generally, most universities, they're like, it's good if you have, like, it's actually really good if you have those exams, but if you don't have those qualifications, then it's okay. If you have high school diploma, if you have talent, if you have personality, if you have courage, which is the most important, we're gonna accept you. Because that's exactly what happened to me. You guys, my high school diploma was not even like the best high school diploma in the country. I was homeschooler, you guys. I was homeschooler. And in Istanbul, like in Turkey, the worst high school diploma is the ones that are the homeschooler, you know, high school diplomas. And I had that one. So everyone around me was like, Husna, we don't think you can actually do it, because first of all, your diploma isn't even like that, you know, important and that big. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. Isn't it high school diploma? It is. So I'm just gonna do it. That's what I said. So I was like, okay, I have the diploma and I can do it. And I saw a couple universities, like University of Greenwich, my own university, University of Westminster, London South Bank University, London Metropolitan University, Middlesex University, like those kind of universities. Yes, some of them required IB. Like, for example, my university, University of Westminster, required IB for digital media production, but I am not an IB student. I didn't have an IB diploma, but still they accepted me and gave me a place to study digital media production, alhamdulillah. So that's what I want to say. I don't want anyone to start on this path thinking negatively, thinking that I won't achieve it, because when you think that you won't achieve, or when you start this path negatively, that is when you actually won't achieve, you guys. Okay, so my first step was I chose the university that I want to apply to, and the second step was IELTS. Yes, that is one of the most important steps. Even if you don't enter GCSE, or even if you're not an IB student, or you don't have SAT or like those kind of exams, you have to enter IELTS or TOEFL or any kind of English language exam, you guys. It is a must. Like, you have to prove the country that you're gonna study in that you have enough English to study in that country, especially if it is the UK. I prepared for IELTS. I actually took academic English lessons from my private tutor for about 5 months. So from April till October, I believe. No, till September. I think I entered IELTS either in September or in October. Let me check out, you guys. Okay, I entered IELTS on 13 October. So I prepared for IELTS from April till September, which is actually very long, okay? It's very long, like it's around 5 months. That's because 2023 summer was a bit challenging for me and my family. We had a couple losses, and at the same time I had to, deal with my IELTS studies, and with those losses, like I had to be with my parents for emotional support. So it was a bit challenging year in terms of that. So that's why it took me a while to prepare for IELTS. But normally, you guys, another note, write it down, studying for IELTS should take maximum 3 months. Like if your English is on a bad level, you should study for 3 months maximum, like all day, like literally every day from like 4 to 5 hours, study English, study IELTS for 3 months. You're gonna pass it, inshallah. Like usually all universities require about at least 5.5 score from your IELTS, so that they can accept you and your English, right? So if you want to pass 5.5 in IELTS, academic IELTS, you have to study for maximum 3 or 4 months. But generally, when I think 3 months is enough to, study and prepare for academic IELTS. And another note is that even if your English is amazing, like it's on a top level, C2 or on a native level, still, you have to study for IELTS, because IELTS is not like it's not like a daily, day-to-day English exam. It's not like the ones that you see in school. It is real, you guys. There is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And all 4 of them are actually difficult. So you have to study for IELTS. Even if you're good or if you're bad in English, you have to study for IELTS, because there are a lot of tips and techniques you have to know about each skill in IELTS so that you can pass with a good score. I scored 7.5 from IELTS. For me, it's not the best, okay? I was expecting an 8, at least an 8 from myself. But I don't know, you guys. I really struggled in listening part 2, where there were the maps. It was really hard to catch up with the maps and the listening, so I kind of lost my focus there. But then reading was not bad. Reading was actually really good. It's just listening was not the best for me. Speaking was good, and writing as well. Like writing essay was really hard for me, you guys. Writing was always hard for me, you guys, in IELTS. So that's why study for IELTS. Oh, and by the way, if you want to study in the UK, the exam you should enter is academic IELTS for UKVI. But if you want to study in other countries like the USA or Canada or other countries, then academic IELTS is enough. I don't know about TOEFL or other exams, because I didn't do TOEFL. I did IELTS, as you guys know. But yeah, overall, it's not super hard. If you have studied, if you know the tips and techniques, you will easily pass 5.5, inshallah. So once my IELTS was done and I got my results, that's when my parents started taking it seriously, alhamdulillah. But still, by the way, I didn't tell anyone around me, anyone, not even my best friend, until things got on a serious level, okay? Only my parents knew, my sister knew, my brother knew, obviously, but other than that, no one had any idea, even you guys. I didn't tell you until the week I moved to London. So the first step was choosing universities, the second step was IELTS, and the third step was applying to universities. So here, you guys, my sister's family friend, they live in the UK, and therefore they knew an agency, or an agent called SIUK, and they had a friend there who worked, in the SIUK agency, and that friend really helped me with, applying for universities via UCAS. But I think that you don't need agent for this part either. You can do it by yourself as well. It's easy, you guys. Throughout this whole process, all you need is laptop. That's it. All you need is a laptop. You can do everything from A to Z from your laptop when you are in your study abroad process. So the agent helped me apply to universities via UCAS, so I can explain what kind of services they did to me, so you don't need to go and hire an agent to apply for universities. You can do it by yourself. So if you have chosen all the universities that you want to apply, you will use a website called UCAS if you want to study in the UK. I don't know about the other countries, you guys, I'm sorry, but if you want to study in the UK, you are going to apply to the universities you have chosen via UCAS. It's ucas.com. You're going to open yourself an account, and once you open yourself an account, you will just start your, process. You're going to go apply to universities, and then you're going to pay an amount. I believe it was £26 last year, but I don't know the price for this year. Let me quickly check from ChatGPT. Oh, okay. So if you want to apply to only one course, meaning one university, then it charges £22.50. But if you want to apply for 5 courses, aka 5 universities, then you have to pay £28.50. So obviously the £28 is way better than the 22 ones, because with the 22 you're going to apply for only one, but with 28 you're going to apply for 5 different universities. So that's what I did. I applied for 5 different universities by paying about, I believe it was £26 last year, because I remember that one. But anyways, so yeah, my agent did the whole UCAS thing for me. She opened me an account, she paid the amount, and then she chose all the universities I want to apply to. She uploaded all the documents, and then she submitted, and that's, I didn't do anything about UCAS. She did everything. But if you don't want to hire agent, then you can do it by yourself. Just like I said, open an account on UCAS, choose the universities, pay the £28, choose the 5 universities and the courses, and upload the required documents. So here I'm going to tell you which documents are needed to apply for universities. Take your notes, you guys. I have all my documents still here in my laptop. By the way, it's really hot today in Istanbul. Oh my gosh, my laptop is dead. Luckily I have my iPad. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the papers that you need to have in order to apply for universities in the UK through UCAS is number 1, passport or your ID, which is obviously the most important thing. Number 2, academical transcripts, which is your high school diploma and your high school transcripts. Transcripts meaning you have your high school subjects with the grades you have gotten from those subjects, basically. And then number 3 is IELTS, or any English language proficiency test. So yeah, mine was my IELTS certificate, so I uploaded that one. And then number 4 is personal statement. So this is also very, very important. You have to write about yourself, about who you are, about why that university should choose you, should accept you for that course. You have to prove yourself. And what I wrote in my personal statement was, so the reason why I chose digital media production is because I do social media for a living. I'm a full-time content creator, so I know digital media very well, alhamdulillah. And that's why I just wrote about that. I do this for 8 years. I was 13 when I started, and now I'm 19. I'm really good at my job. I make an income out of it, and I have big dreams, big goals. I want to hopefully build my own business in the future, and your university will really help me. I trust in your university. And I also added some personal stuff, about my background, about my culture, and that I believe helped a lot in my acceptance. So yeah, you have to write a personal statement, and it should be a maximum 500 to 600 words. And then number 5 is reference letters. So an academic person that should write a reference letter about you. Basically, they should compliment you and the good things and achievements you have done in your school. So for me, my private tutor, my English tutor who prepared me for IELTS, he wrote me the letter of reference, and he's very kind for doing that. He wrote some really nice stuff about me, so I'm really grateful for that. But basically, either a teacher, a school counselor, or an academic advisor must write the reference letter for you, and they should also sign it. And if that teacher or that counselor belongs to a school or a private school or something, it has to be stamped by the school. And then those are the main documents that you need to apply to universities on UCAS. But if you have additional documents certificates, portfolios, resumes, you can add those as well. But the ones that I just counted are the most important ones you need to apply to universities from UCAS. And yeah, so once you upload those documents, you can officially, you know, like submit your application, and all you have to do is to wait. By the way, the UCAS applications open around, I believe, November, yeah. The UCAS applications open around November for the upcoming academic year. So since I applied in November 2023, I applied for the 2024-2025 academic year, which was just this past one. Just for you to note that. For example, in this upcoming November, when you apply for UK universities, it means you're not applying for this upcoming academic year, but for the next one, the 2026-2027, because right now the upcoming one is 2025-2026. But if you apply in this November, it means you're applying for the 2026-2027 academic year. Okay, so yeah, just to note that when you apply around November, you will receive your results from every university maximum by the end of February or beginning of March, because that's what happened to me. The first university that replied to me was Kingston University. They replied me around the end of December, and I got accepted. And then it was London Metropolitan, I believe. I got accepted from that as well. I got accepted from all the universities I applied to, alhamdulillah, like all 5 of them, without any like GCSE or IB or SAT, just with my high school diploma and IELTS certificate. Why? Because, I mean, obviously academic qualifications and achievements are amazing when you're applying for universities, but who you are, what kind of personality you have, those matter the most, you guys. Like, universities look for individuals who are creative, who are passionate, who have the courage, you know. So that's why, like, no need to be sad if you don't have like amazing academic qualifications. If you have a good personality, that's enough, inshallah. So yeah, after you receive the results, then comes choosing your firm university. For example, I got 5 unconditional offers from all universities, and I went with one, which was my firm choice, which was the University of Westminster Digital Media Production. So yeah, around like, I believe end of March and April, I did my firm choice of university, and then I just got in contact with the University of Westminster, with their halls, you know, because I was planning to stay in the university accommodation. That process took me about like a month, and yeah, you guys, around May, everything about my university application was done. Like, I got accepted, I chose my firm choice of university, I paid the deposit for my university and for my accommodation, and now I just had to apply for a UK visa, but it was still so early because my university was going to start around September, and that's why you have to apply for the UK student visa like 2 months prior to your university start date, like 2 months prior to the enrollment date, or else they won't like accept you to the country. They're going to be like, you still have like 3 months until your university starts. Why are you here so early? We're not going to accept you to the country, okay? So don't do that mistake. Since I was done with all the university application process around May, I took a good vacation. My whole study abroad process was on hold for about like a month and a half long, basically from May until July. And in July, I started preparing for my UK student visa application. So the most important thing about the UK student visa application was finance. You have to have at least $40,000 in your bank account for 40 days. Like, it has to stay for at least 40 days. If it stays for 39 days, you're gonna get rejected. If it stays for 35 days, you're gonna get rejected. If it stays for only 2 weeks, you're gonna get rejected. It has to stay for at least 40 days in your bank account. That is a big amount, I know. So the amount that I had to keep in my bank account was around 40,000, but this amount changes every year. Like, it's not the exact amount, 40,000, but for me it was $40,000. Still, you have to check the UK visa, you know, websites and kind of calculate what amount you need to put in your bank account in order to get a student visa. But for me, it was $40,000. I know, you guys, but let me tell you something. I didn't have that amount, you guys. Like, I didn't have that amount, and I used to pray tahajjud almost every night, and I prayed istikhara once, and that was for this money. Like, Ya Allah, I'm praying this istikhara for you. Give me an answer. If London is a good path for me, grant me the $40,000 so that I can keep it in my bank account for 40 days. But if it's not khair for me, if it's not good for me studying in London, then don't give me that money. So I will just leave this journey here, and I'm gonna look forward to another journey. And after 3 days of my istikhara prayer, I found $40,000. It's crazy. The way God works, the way faith is, it's just crazy, you guys. Like, you have to have faith. I did my best. I applied for universities. I studied for IELTS. You know, no one around believed me at all. Like, only my big sister, she was my biggest supporter. My parents were obviously my supporter as well, but just, you know, like in the beginning, no one believed in me. But alhamdulillah, you guys, I did the best I could, and when I left it to Allah, I was just satisfied, because I was like, Ya Allah, like, oh God, I'm leaving this to you. I need $40,000. I'm not stressed. I'm not even thinking negative about it, because I did all I can do. Like, I did all I can do, and that's why I'm satisfied and I'm proud of myself. Like, guys, those paperworks, those applications, the visa process, it's not easy. I hate paperworks because it gives big amount of stresses. So it was not easy, but I did the best I could. I did my hard work, and I was so proud of myself for going that far, for sticking to my goal, for having firm faith, for believing in myself and believing in God. And that's how, you guys, after like 3 days after I prayed my istikhara prayer about London, God granted me the $40,000, and I directly, like around the mid-July, I directly kept that $40,000 in my bank account. And towards the end of August, the 40 days was done, and I got my bank statement from the bank, and then I finally applied for the UK student visa. So documents you need for the UK student visa is actually the same, almost like similar documents to the ones that you need while you're applying to UK universities. All your academic qualifications, your IELTS or like your English, you know, test certificate, and you need the letter of recommendation, personal statement, and all those stuff. The most important thing is bank statement, passport, and I believe that's it, you guys. Yes, that's it. Like, if you're getting scholarship, that's amazing. You have to add your scholarship documents as well. But if you're not getting scholarship, those are the only documents that you have to apply. And a week after my visa application, I got my visa results, which was a positive one. I got the UK student visa, and then like 2 weeks after I got my visa, I flew to London on 19 of September. Oh, sorry, no, astaghfirullah, not 19, it was 13. On 13 of September, I moved to London, and I started my London journey, alhamdulillah, officially. So yeah, that was the whole process. This video is already 38 minutes long. I have no idea how I'm gonna fit my first year of university in London, like how I'm gonna explain that, because it's gonna get longer. So I think I'm gonna part it into two. So in this video, I explained to you guys the process of studying abroad, like the university application, the IELTS process, the documentations you need, and all those fun stuff, actually not so fun stuff. In the second part, I will explain you my first year of university, or like first year of living alone in London experience. And yeah, I just want this video to be a whole motivation, like a whole, you know, video filled with positive affirmations and like motivation for everyone that's watching this. You guys, achieving goals doesn't look at your bank statement, or it doesn't look at your financial statement. Achieving goals looks at how much you believe in yourself and in God. That's what I learned from my own journey, you guys. Thank you so much for all your love and support, like especially the support you have been giving me ever since I moved to London is crazy. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I can't wait to share more with you guys, especially when I'm back in London for year 2, inshallah. And I can't wait to share with you guys my graduation day, inshallah. Like, I'm already super excited about my graduation. I still have 2 years, but you guys, it's crazy how days are going by so fast. Like, yesterday, I was, preparing for London, and like, I was applying for all these, applications. And then today I'm just like sitting and sharing my journey with you and giving you tips and helping you with studying abroad. Like, it's crazy, you guys. Also, another crazy thing to think about is last year around these times, I still didn't have the money to apply for the visa. Like, I was still praying to God, because it's like 15 July today. Around like 20th of July, I got the money. And now I already have the visa. I went to London a couple times. I'm done with my first year and I'm preparing for my second year. Like, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I'm so grateful. If I do it, you can do it as well, you guys. It has nothing to do with finance. It has nothing to do with, I don't know, coming from wealthy family or wealthy background, or, you know, coming from open-minded family. It has nothing to do with that. Just like I said, you guys, I come from a conservative Asian household. So I know, I'm saying this because I have a lot of beautiful, super kind viewers from India, from Pakistan, from Afghanistan, from those kind of, you know, Asian countries. And unfortunately, I also do know that, especially in those countries, not a lot of people and not a lot of parents support girl education, like girls' education. And I'm super against that. I believe that every girl needs to have access to education, and especially higher education, which is high school and university. Girls, study, have dreams, and chase after your dreams. But I always say this out of sincerity, not out of bad intentions, not out of I'm going to prove to my parents, or I'm going to prove to, I don't know, this person or that person, or to my household or to my society. No, do it to prove your own self that when you truly believe in your dreams and believe in God, it actually happens. Like, you can achieve them. I am a big example. Like, I don't want to brag about myself, but I still can't believe, like, how did I achieve it? God is so great. Like, Allah is great. He loves you, and Allah loves those who are positive because He is the most positive. He always thinks good about His servants, believer or non-believer. He always assumes well about His servant. He's always merciful towards all His creations, not only like humans, not only believers or non-believers, but also towards the animals, you know, the birds, or like the plants. Like, He's merciful towards all His creations. If Allah is the most positive, doesn't that mean that we should be positive as well? So that's why go and chase your dreams, and may Allah make it easy for you. And come back for the second part, where I'll be explaining how was my first year of studying in London and living in London as a young adult, as a young girl, and a Muslim woman, as a young Muslim woman, and a 19-year-old. All these adjectives, wow. Yeah, I'll basically be explaining that. So see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. May Allah bless and protect you. Ma salama. Bye.